I am being slightly non-conventional and moving into a new journal for August. Yes, you did hear that right. In August. Why would I do that? It's not halfway through the year. July was halfway through the year. But that is because I've decided to use not an A6, that's not true, a B6 journal for the rest of the year. And I was in an A5 journal at the beginning of the year, so I have chosen to fit as much in that A5 as I could and then just put the rest of the year in this B6. It also has quite a few less pages than my A5 that I was using, so this is only 112 pages, so it's one of the thinner Archer and Olive notebooks, so that is why. So just to start off the journal correctly, I am setting up my title page. I am using the supplies that came with the subscription box that the journal, both this journal and my first journal of the year, came with, so the sticker sheets and the washi tape from that to decorate, because I quite like it when the front pages always match the planner cover. So yeah, that's what I've gone with. So for this cover page, I am just ripping up some bits of washi tape and covering up a lot of the lines and writing, and then I've just put one of those circle stickers, which is the only one I use in this setup, and then added a few of the other stickers around just to finish off the page. So as I've said, I am using this purple B6 journal. It is a nice and thin one, Archer and Olive, same elastic closure as usual, and as you've seen, that gorgeous hexagon on the inside. Then I do have the same Archer and Olive stickers here. I actually realised I missed some. There are some more that I need to pull in. Then I have the washi tapes, all from that June sub box, and a couple of pens, one Tombow and one mild liner fine tip. So now let's get into the actual setup. As you've seen, we are going to be setting up a washi dashboard. And you may notice that the right hand page is already done when I set up this. That's because when I finished doing this setup, I felt like this page looked too empty, so I decided to go in and add a washi dashboard. So Beth Plans XO is the queen of washi dashboards, and she reminded me last year how much I love a washi dashboard. I used to do them a very long time ago, all the time. I actually used to do a washi weekend banner in my planner every single week. So I am a big washi fan. So I thought, as I had the coordinated washis and this page looked a bit blank, I would fill it in with a nice washi dashboard. So all I'm doing is putting them on the diagonal and going through the same ordering of each washi tape and just popping a strip down and then cutting them off. I sometimes hang over, I sometimes cut them off neatly. It just depends on sort of how it's sitting and whether I'm going to need it again, etc, etc. I have gone over that central line because I'm going to cut down and very carefully cut down and make sure that it all finishes at the edge of the page. Some people, Beth Plans for example, likes to do this on a piece of sticker paper and then stick it in. I don't mind doing it right in my journal. You just have to be very, very careful when you do this cut here. And you'll actually notice that I will go back in with my craft knife and do some extra cuts, basically because I didn't get it quite deep enough and there were edges left. So yeah, that's it for my washi dashboard, and that was just to fill in space and look pretty. So in a second, we are going to move on to that right-hand page. And now my washi dashboard has disappeared because this is not the order that I actually did these pages in, but it is the order they ended up in. So on this right-hand page, I am going to be setting up my ideal weekly schedule. And so I am going to have a box for every day of the week. Because I've moved into a B6, the format I had before with 4 days vertically and 2 horizontally just doesn't really fit enough information in for me. So I've opted for this 3x2, which I know you're going to be like, Tilly, that only gives 6 days. Yep, I'm about to cut one of those days in half, and it's not Saturday, Sunday, because Saturday and Sunday are busy days for me. It's Thursday, Friday, because they are my day job work days. And by the time I've done my day job and come home, spent some time with my daughter and done bedtime, it's basically my bedtime. So I very much don't have very many extra tasks to do on a Thursday, Friday as a routine, which is what this is. So this is the only spread in this setup that I do with non-ruled lines, and I think I'm going to be using for a lot of the journal ruled lines because actually that clean look is how I like it at the moment. So now I've got that format set up. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday across the top, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday at the bottom. And I'm just adding in some stickers to make it pretty. And then I am going to add in some hand lettering for my title. This is like my favourite font at the moment. I essentially found a font on Pinterest, which I used to do all the time, and copied it for a while and now I can just do the font, and it is my favorite font and I use it all the time at the moment. So that is the schedule page set up. So we are turning over and getting into the monthly spread. If you've been here for one of my journal setups before, you will know my monthly spreads are not the traditional calendar format. I do like a monthly spread, but I do not work with my weeks being left to right. My weeks need to be up to down. So I have my 4 weeks because I work in cycles rather than traditional months. So I have my 4 weeks of a cycle with week 1 on the left, then week 2, week 3, week 4 going left to right, and then going down the page we have Monday through Sunday. So it's as if you took a traditional calendar and turned it 90 degrees. It's just how my brain works. I find I have better room to write the things that are going on, and it just works better for me. I am utilising the entire of the page, but that did mean that 3 of my boxes had to be a little bit smaller than the others. Obviously, as I've already said, Thursday, Friday were obvious ones to make smaller because I don't usually have anything other than work and maybe the occasional club or pub quiz on those days, so I very rarely have more to write than at work and Baylor at nursery. But the other day I just had to choose a day of the week and I went with Tuesdays. I don't know why I went with Tuesdays, but I did. I think because it gave the most balance. So like Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday were all the same size, so it makes the spread look a little bit more balanced. I think my brain works better with this sort of format than a traditional calendar because I do use cycles. So for anybody who is new here or hasn't watched Jashi Karin's videos before, who is the person that came up with the cyclical system I'm using, instead of months, I use 4-week blocks to represent a cycle, and then every third cycle there is an extra week called a reset week, splitting the year nicely into quarters. So this is cycle 1 of the third quarter of the year. No, what I'm setting up, sorry, is cycle 2 of the third quarter of the year. And that is equivalent to August for most people. But actually, it's not really this year because my August starts on the 27th of July, which has a good 5 days of July, and ends on the 23rd of August. So there is a whole week of August that is in cycle 3 of quarter 3 this year. That's because at the end of this year, there's going to be an extra week when it's like a leap week, if that makes sense, to make up for leap years. And that's going to align our months a little bit better with our cycles. But yeah, that's basically how I've done my setup. I've just popped the date number of the days in the top right corner, and then I'm just adding some of these stickers in for decoration. That's pretty much our monthly setup. We will come back and fill this in later. Next, I'm setting up my weekly priority spread. So again, because I work in cycles and in full weeks, because I love a full week, I love new stuff starting on a Monday. These are essentially my goal actions for each week. And so at the end of this cycle, which there's a few days left of, though it will actually probably be a few days into the next cycle because I'm away at the beginning of this cycle, I will go through my goal actions that I haven't got done in this cycle and the ones that I had already planned to do in next cycle, make sure they are appropriately spread over the 4 weeks. For example, I'm actually away, as I've said, for the first couple of days of this cycle, so I probably don't want as much in week 1 as I do in 2, 3, and 4, but we will see. So I will take all of those tasks, split them by week, and then put them into this list. Then, closer to the beginning of each week, I will actually take those and split them onto which days I intend to do them based on what is happening that week. For example, one of my goal actions at the moment is to go on a weekly outing or day out with my daughter and husband. And if that's a full day out, I'm obviously going to have less time on that day. Whereas if it's just an outing, I will have some time to do other goal actions. So that's it for my weekly priority spread. It's just 4 spaces to write in those priorities. And then we will get onto our last spread of this page, which is actually a bit of a weekly spread. So as I said, I will take those weekly priorities and put them onto days. And this spread here is where I am going to do that. So it's pretty much the exact same format as that first spread we did, the schedule spread, except this time I'm using ruled lines rather than freehand drawn lines. So I'm going to set up that same exact format with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday all having the same size box, and Thursday, Friday sharing one. The only difference is I am making this very slightly bigger. So rather than having a title at the top of the page, I'm stretching it slightly to fill the entire page. But as part of Sunday, I believe, I am just taking a tiny extra space to put in the week number. And that's generally because one of my goals this quarter is to have a 4 hours at least of leisure time a week. And I generally, if I can, put that on a Sunday. So usually my Sunday list is a little bit shorter because that takes up a good chunk of the day. So yeah, that is it for this spread, because all I've done is set up the exact same thing, but I won't fill that out until the week starts. And I absolutely love that this strip of washi fits perfectly down the side, because then I can find my weekly spread very, very easily. Then you'll wonder what I'm doing on this right side. So essentially in my journal, I use dailies, which means I put the day of the week header or date, and then I just make my list underneath that. So I don't really need to do any pre-setup of that, but I have ruled my column into 2 lines because I'm going to box everything in. So I've just popped in the lines to split it up into my weekly tasks, well, into my dailies. And that's all that for that page. I've just added a bit more deco. Now I'm just migrating into this month as much as I could at the time at which it was filmed, which was essentially just filling in this monthly spread with any activities that were already planned. So I have sped this bit up quite a lot because it's not very interesting watching me write in what I'm doing each day, because a lot of it, there isn't a lot. So let's just get straight back to the full flip through of this cycle. Let me know in the comments what you think of this setup. Do you like matching the first setup of your journal with the sort of cover, or do you do something a bit more random? Let me know in the comments down below. On the screen in a second, YouTube will be recommending all of my previous DIY planner videos, as well as a video it thinks you'll enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!